Hello all, and thank you so much for tuning in to Fun Ahead TV. If you're a longtime viewer of this channel, welcome back, you know the deal. If you're a first time viewer of this channel, welcome. We work on anything and everything with an engine, and we try to have a lot of fun doing it. I hope you enjoy what you see, and please consider subscribing if you want to see even more. So, today is a super big day. This is the day that I introduce to all of you my brand new project. And we're not gonna mess around a whole lot. We're gonna go ahead and get started on that project today. So, what is this new project, you ask? Well, we just finished up doing a full rebuild on a Porsche Boxster S, a 2005 987 Porsche Boxster S. And so I figured what better project to do than to do another full engine rebuild on a Porsche. Yes, another Porsche mechanical restoration. But it's not just any Porsche, and it's not just going to be any mechanical restoration. The lucky car in question is my Porsche, my 2001 Porsche 996 Carrera 4. It's a car that you guys have seen on this channel quite a few times. However, this is going to be far from the same mechanical restoration that we just did on the Boxster. We are going to be going pretty in-depth with this thing. While we will be doing a full mechanical refresh similar to what we did on the Boxster, this rebuild is also going to involve replacing some major internal components to make this thing the most reliable, track-worthy Porsche on the road. Stay tuned. So this here is my 2001 996 Porsche Carrera 4. I've had it for about 4.5 years now. It currently has 111,000 miles on the clock, 20,000 of which I put on the car myself. And I have driven this thing hard, and I have driven it everywhere. A couple years ago, I took a road trip out to Arches National Park. I live in Ohio, so I drove this thing all the way out to Utah and back. I've also done various road trips around the Midwest, some out towards the East Coast, etc., etc. And I've also done 2 track weekends with the car. Through all of this, the car has performed mechanically flawlessly. Of course, I've done a lot to this car, all preventative maintenance, by the way, but I've done things like the IMS bearing, clutch, pressure plate, flywheel, etc., all the timing chain guides with the exception of the IMS timing chain, variocam pads, which is kind of like the timing chain guides, okay, fine. Timing chain tensioners, air oil separator, water pump, oil cooler, vacuum lines, throttle body, etc., etc. So many other while you're in there items. But like I said, this was all preventative maintenance. There has not been a single breakage on this car that has left me on the side of the road through all of the driving that I've done with it. And of course, last year we did the transmission teardown where we replaced and refreshed the entire second gear synchro, which was quite a surgical situation. Go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. So basically everything has been done to this car aside from the internals, and like I said, the IMS chain tensioners, which you cannot get to unless you physically split the case on the engine. So you're probably wondering, David, if this car's so reliable, why now? Why are you doing a full teardown of the engine currently? Well, like I said, this car has 111,000 miles on it, and sure, I've done a lot of work to this car, but like I said, it's all been preventative. But meanwhile, all of the stock internals of this engine, main bearings, connecting rod bearings, pistons, rings, cylinder walls, etc., etc., are all original and all in great shape, as far as I know, and could continue to go for many, many more miles and years to come. So again, that leads me to why now? Well, for one thing, unfortunately, I have seen evidence that the IMS timing chain guides are breaking down. Ever since I've done the other timing chain guides in the engine a couple years ago, every single oil change I've done, I've seen more and more evidence that those old timing chain guides are starting to show age. Unfortunately, they are original, and like I've always said on this channel, aging rubbers and plastics are the name of the game of aging sports cars, of really any aging car. So, time to go in there and replace them. But that's just kind of a secondary reason why we are doing this now. So the engine does need to be torn down completely in order to get to those IMS timing chain guides, which opens the door to replace all of the while you're in there items that we did on the Boxster S just now for a full mechanical refresh. But we're not just doing a refresh here, people. We are doing a full beefing up. That's right, we're getting beefy with it. Beefy, you ask? You're dang right. So I never plan to get rid of this car. I know a lot of people say that, but I truly never plan to get rid of this car. And because of that, I need a car that can, for many, 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 many years to come, take the abuse that I plan to put this car through, that I enjoy putting this car through. Whenever I drive this car, I don't take it easy. I don't just cruise into town, go to the grocery store. No, 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 no. We are hitting curvy roads, we're driving hard, we're having fun, and we're doing track days. Track weekends, in fact. So therefore, there are 2 primary goals with this rebuild. 1, refresh all of the internals to reset all of the wear items inside of this engine back to 0 mileage and 0 age. 2, beef this thing up. I want to make a completely bulletproof M96 engine that can handle as many track days as I can possibly throw at it. So, with this build, we're going to completely beef up this engine and make it a total track workhorse. How are we going to do that, you ask? Well, we'll get into those details more later, but just know for now, basically, we're going to take all of the components out of the equation that are known to fail after extensive track usage within an M96. Now, how are we going to take that plan from the sunshine and rainbows stage to actual doing it phase? We're going to start today, right now, in about 5 seconds, right after I introduce to you my new threads. I figured, having been a Porsche owner for almost a decade now, I should finally embrace the Porsche owner look of the sport coat. And so, that's what we've done today with my teeny tiny little sport coat, which I have nicknamed my Porsche. My poorly fitting sport coat shop attire. Does that acronym make sense? No, not really. But just know, this is my Porsche. It may or may not be this exact one, but we're going to be wearing a sport coat every single time we work on a Porsche from here on out on this channel. So let's get out in the shop and wear our poorly fitting sport coat shop attire and get some work done. Now, like I said, we're getting started right away on this project. By the end of this video, we will have the engine out of that car completely. But we're going to start off with a little bit more of a bang than that. And by bang, I mean we're going to set a world record today. We are going to set the fastest time of an engine and transmission removal out of a Porsche 996 while wearing a sport coat. We don't mess around here at Fun Ahead TV. And with that, let's stop messing around and set a freaking world record. Alrighty, well, car is racked, teeny tiny sport coat is on, aka my Porsche, and it is currently 11:32 in the morning. Time to set a world record. Let's do it. Well, everyone, we are right at the 3-hour mark, which, you know, it hasn't been the most efficient process in the world. I've kind of been taking my time with certain things. And, ooh, I just noticed I got my sport coat dirty. How dare ye? Anyway, my teeny tiny sport coat will survive. We are in the final stretch of removing the engine. Everything is disconnected, at least I think, now that I'm thinking through it, with the exception of the power steering lines, which are easiest once you start lowering the engine down a little bit. So it is now time to begin doing that. Like I said, we're right at the 3-hour mark, so we're on track for that world record, which has yet to be set ever in the world, probably. Anyway, with that, let's go ahead and pull this powertrain. There it is, everybody. We've got our engine and transmission out, and let's go see what time it is. 3:15, which means we did it in 3 hours and 40 minutes, which is, according to me, the world record for removing an engine and transmission out of a 996 Porsche 911 while wearing a teeny tiny sport coat. So, we don't just work on cars here, we set world records. You thought you were coming here for a car video, but little did you know, you just witnessed history. All right, all jokes aside, we do have the engine out. It's very exciting. I wasn't joking. We were getting right to work today. I didn't just want to do a project intro for you guys. I wanted to get right into it, start doing the thing, and we've got the engine out. So, with that, we are going to call it quits for today. This is going to be episode 1 or part 1 of this entire series. Many, many more things to come with regards to this project. In the next episode, we're going to start tearing into this puppy, and I will let you guys know some of the insights into what it is we're going to be doing to make this thing beefy. This engine is about to be 100% USDA approved beef. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning into Fun Ahead TV. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And also, please consider subscribing if you would like to see even more content like this in the near future. I think this is going to be a very exciting series. There is lots of fun ahead to come for this car, and you're not going to want to miss it. So thank you all so much for being here. Each and every one of you are awesome. Yes, you. I'm looking right at you. I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great day. Later. Oh, hey, Fun Ahead friends and family. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see even more great Fun Ahead TV content, please click the suggested video right here. I'll see you over there.